All right, I think we can go ahead and get started. So again, thank you to everyone who's joined so far. And I would like to kick us off now. So my name is Audrey Flood. I am a development manager at the Tiffin-Seneca Economic Partnership. And one of the areas that I oversee is rural development. So I work with small businesses and our rural businesses in Seneca County, outside of the city. And our job, in as brief of a nutshell as possible, is to help and support businesses with projects or with problems, and to help them out with any challenges they're running into. This webinar is also in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. And one of the things that we thought we could do to help support businesses during this time was put on a series of webinars on various different topics for our local businesses. One of which we wanted to really focus on our rural and ag businesses. We have done other webinars on everything from financial resources, the federal and state programs with the loans, marketing and social media, health and sanitation, mental health in your business, a range of other things, which you can find the rest of those if you're curious at our website. So you can just search Tiffin-Seneca Economic Partnership, and you can also find that on our Facebook if you search that. And there are recordings of all the past webinars too. There's some really great resources. So again, just wanted to welcome all those who are joining so far. And now I would like to give Jennifer a chance to introduce herself and what she does. Jennifer?
All right, thanks, Audrey. First off, my name is Jennifer Brown. I'm a business program specialist with USDA Rural Development. I've been with the agency for 19 years. I do want to apologize. The bright color in the background, this is our farm home office. So my husband did the choosing of the colors here. So sorry about the wildness. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same boat that I am. I am working from home full time with small children in the home. So if you hear background noise, I apologize about that as well. So just a quick introduction about rural development. So rural development is under the United States Department of Agriculture. We do a variety of programs within our agency. We do single family housing loans. So lower income people can come through and get a housing loan for no down payment, lower interest rates and extended terms there. There's a guaranteed rural housing where they can go through a bank and get a guarantee to go ahead and get that loan with no down payment. Multifamily housing, so apartment complexes, stuff like that. Community facilities and water and waste. So if you're a township trustee, county commissioner, something like that, you can come to us for guarantee loans, direct loans, grants and stuff to help do infrastructure in your communities, whether it's fire stations, hospitals, libraries, fire trucks. Local townships can do, buildings, trucks and stuff like that too. And then, of course, I work in the business and industry section. So that's the B&I, and we have a couple different programs. Right now, we're kind of waiting for some additional direction from Washington on availability of different, maybe new programs that might be coming out. I know as of, I think it was yesterday, maybe the stimulus package, the second round was approved through Congress and signed. So we are kind of waiting for those to trickle down, and sometimes those can take some time, and we don't have a lot of notice of what's coming until it's here. So we're slowly learning that we will be receiving some additional funding, some chances to help some existing businesses that we already have on our portfolio, and stuff like that. So with the two programs I want to kind of just touch base on, we have a business and loan industry guarantee program. And what that allows us to do is help extend loans to for-profit businesses in rural areas. So that's 50,000 and less population. We can do some nonprofits, co-ops, public bodies, and then individuals. And we can do anything from business conversions, refinance, purchase and development, equipment loans, acquisitions. There's just a variety of things that we can do with your business. We can't do, unfortunately, lines of credit. We can't do any kind of housing, anything that kind of be related to that. Anything it's illegal, or churches, organizations like that, charitable organizations. We do have credit requirements. We do have collateral requirements, so we have to be fully collateralized. With our loans, though, you go to a bank, whether it's the bank that you work with now, or you can contact us and we'll give you a list of lenders that we've worked with in the past. But those are ones that we work with that you kind of work with, and you're their borrower in essence, and then the bank is our borrower. So what they're going to do is walk you through the footsteps of getting the loan, and then they're going to come to us for a guarantee. So they can get up to an 80% guarantee for that loan. Should something happen and they have to collect on that, they're 80% protected on that loan amount. So that's up to $5 million. So it's good for the banks to be involved in it. It doesn't go against their federal spending limit, what they can lend out. And then they can sell some of these on the secondary market. So it kind of helps them in their portfolio as well. Some of the benefits of doing the guaranteed loan is we do want to see competitive rates. We wanted to see something that they would be extending to someone else because of that guarantee protection. We also ask that they look at the loan terms. We can go up to 30 years for real estate, 15 years or useful life for machinery and equipment. So there's some things that can benefit both the lender and the borrower with their cash flow and stuff. So it's a good program, and I have more information that I can send out through Audrey as we get going here. And then the second program is the Rural Energy for America program. And this is for rural small businesses or agriculture producers. And what they can do through this program is do energy efficiency upgrades to their operation. So if it's a rural small business, if you have a grocery store and you want to do energy efficiency upgrades to your LED lighting or your HVAC, your coolers in the store, anything that you can show a cost savings on, that's something that we can definitely look at with this. It can be a loan guarantee or it can be a grant. The grant is up to 25% of the total project cost. And then we can also look at renewable energy. So that would be if you have a hog operation that you're growing, you can put solar on there to help offset those energy costs. It could be wind, it could be geothermal, it could be hydrogen, hydropower, biomass, boilers. We see those with greenhouses a lot where it's just cut firewood. They're doing that to create the heating for that greenhouse. So anything that you can show that creates energy or saves by updating that system, that's something you can apply for. And again, that's for agriculture producers. And you show that by submitting your tax return showing your Schedule F or a rural small business. And again, that's in 50,000 or less communities. Those are something you can combine together. You can do the loan guarantee plus the grant. It just takes some timing on our behalf. But with the loan guarantee, it's similar to the BNI, the business and industry I just explained, except it goes up to an 85% guarantee. So it's a little bit more protection for the banks because we know some of the banks are not totally comfortable doing energy efficiency upgrades or more renewable energy. They're not, as comfortable with that. So what we hope with these programs is it helps give that protection and that want to go ahead and extend that credit to the businesses. One other thing I do want to mention about our programs, so we have a rural business development grant and then some intermediary relending programs. And what those do is we have given money out into the communities to certain groups that have applied for this. And what they do is they turn them into revolving loan funds. And then so those revolving loan funds are available in communities across the state to help small businesses in their areas. They set up a plan of what they want to look at structure-wise, loan-wise, and then that's what they kind of focus their attention on. So up in Seneca County, the Tiffin area, there's the Erie Basin, RC&D. They have funds available for multiple counties: Ashland, Crawford, Erie, Huron, Ottawa, Richland, Sandusky, Seneca, Wood, and Wyandotte. And then there's WSOS, and they're in Fremont. And they both have loans available. So if there's something that you're needing, maybe you're not quite ready for the bank loan, maybe it's a smaller amount, maybe you're just getting started, we encourage you to go talk to those two groups. Another thing that we kind of tell you to do if you're just getting started is to work with your local SBDC. So your SBDC can help you set up your business plan, kind of your financials and stuff like that before you even go to talk to a lender. So those are just kind of some tips that I have. As I said, I know times are tough and difficult right now. We have not got a lot of guidance on the stimulus package that we will be receiving, but we have some of the ones that we have on our portfolio already. We've been able to service those in different ways and given them opportunities to kind of relieve some of the stress during these times. If it's okay, I'm going to make a couple other comments about a sister agency, the SBA. The SBA is a Small Business Administration. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of them. And we signed a memorandum of understanding with the SBA a couple years ago, actually here in Ohio, that gave us the opportunity to work alongside with them. So the SBA, the Small Business Administration, can only go up to so much loan-wise. So we kind of refer businesses to them for certain loan amounts, and then they refer the ones that they're not able to do to us. So with that being said, I did sit on a call. Actually, it was a personal side of things, but I sat on a call the other day that did talk about the Payment Protection Program, which I know that right now they're waiting on more funding, and it has gone above and beyond, I think, what they ever expected. But those are funds available for employers to help pay with their payroll, and the forgiveness of those can be if 75% of those funds are used directly towards payroll, then that loan can be forgiven. Another one they talked about is the economic industry loan, and that's up to $2 million, and that had some low rates and then some longer terms on those as well. So those are some just other ideas or places to explore that just might help you through these times, because we know it's difficult on all of us, but we do have some websites. Ours actually is a really great website to check out. It's www.rd.usda.gov/coronavirus. And what it has done, if I can try, bear with me, I'm going to pull it up here so you can see, because what it does, it just shows you if you're a homeowner or a small business or a community, it kind of shows you what's available. So okay, I may not be able to do it. But just check out that website. It's a great website. And as I said, it just kind of breaks down depending on what your need is, whether it's a business or as an individual. It just shows you some opportunities and some available funds and programs out there. So, Audrey, that's what I have. If you want to take over for question and answers.
Yeah, so I am pasting a link to that site in the chat. So you all should be able to see it in the chat and click on that and visit it yourselves. This is a really great page that she mentioned, and a lot of different, organizations and groups are kind of putting together resource pages, but the USDA's page has been touted as being one of the really, really helpful ones, one of the best. It's very well organized. So please head there and figure out if there's any resources there that might help you. So yeah, I will ask some questions from, the type of things that we get questions on from businesses in our office, but please feel free, any of you who are attending, again, just raise your hand and ask a question, and I will unmute you, or you can type in the chat box or type in the question box, and we're happy to answer questions, or if you just have something to add to the discussion as well, we're happy to have you join in. So let's see. Yeah, so I guess a couple things I just wanted to cover, as this is, rural businesses specific in this one. So we here in Tiffin-Seneca County tend to think of our rural businesses as the businesses outside of the city of Tiffin or outside of Fostoria that lie in our townships and villages. And while that is true, a lot of these programs from USDA or other type of state and federal programs actually do categorize our businesses within the city as rural as well, since we are under certain thresholds, as Tiffin only has, under 18,000 people. So that's something else to note. We are focused on the businesses in the more rural parts of our county today, but a lot of these resources actually can include Tiffin businesses as well. So some of the things that I wanted to point out for our businesses that are outside of the county, just some of the things that we see from businesses that we talk to in our office is perhaps it might be a little less kind of convenient for people to do some of the adjusted options like the curbside pickup or the delivery options, since it is a little further out. So some of the things that we've seen some of our rural businesses do are some really creative solutions on how they can kind of adjust their business and either work out some kind of a delivery or pickup option, or shifting to online options during this time. There are tons of tools out there right now for different types of online programs and platforms that are discounted or even free right now. So that's a great resource for rural businesses to check out. And if we have any rural businesses that are interested in looking at something like that for the remainder of the time that they're going to be closed, please reach out and we'd be happy to connect you to some of those kind of resources to help get you kind of shifted or to pivot your focus during this time to still bring in income. For our rural businesses that are closed, that are not able to operate at all, whether online or adjusted, Jennifer mentioned some great programs that we definitely recommend, both the Economic Injury Disaster Loan as well as the Paycheck Protection Plan Loan, the PPP as it's being referred to. And as she said, that is sort of paused right now because of the lack of funds that ran out last week. But we do expect that we will be notified that the extra funds are back into that program either later this week even or early next week. And so because of that, we encourage any businesses to reach out to the bank that you already have a relationship with. And if you don't already have a relationship with a bank, find one. And there are many community banks that are open and available to help you with both of those programs. And the real point is to reach out to them as early as possible, because we do know now that those funds will go quickly. And we encourage everyone to have all of their kind of financial paperwork in place. Have all of your reports about your finances, your payroll, have all of that ready to go, and then go and talk to your bank, have your application ready so that when these funds are available again, you're ready to go and you can be kind of in that queue first. So just some things I wanted to point out there as far as different kind of financial resources for our rural businesses. And again, this one's kind of general because we're talking about, just rural specific issues, but if there are businesses that do have questions on any of those more specific topics, like the health part, the online social media marketing or any of those things, please reach out. I'll send you a link to resources on that, or we can walk through some of those things as well. Another good resource for Seneca County, here are regulations for all of our businesses, including the rural businesses, would be the health commissioners, the Seneca County Health Commissioners briefings that she's doing. She is doing those live. You can find those on the Seneca County Health Department's Facebook page as well as their website. And she's kind of giving updates on what the regulations are and what she is expecting of businesses that are trying to operate here in Seneca County during this time. So that's another thing that I wanted to make a note of. Let's see, let me check and see if there are any questions in the chat box. Please feel free again to ask any question or to contribute to the discussion at all. Looks like I don't see any hand raised or any questions at the moment. So we can just kind of continue to talk about some different options. Jennifer, let's see, could you give us an example maybe of a business that may have utilized one of these resources, like the loan guarantee program, either through specifically through USDA, or perhaps they use the revolving loan fund from one of the organizations, like here locally we have the Erie Basin, or through WSOS or GLCAP. Why don't you give our businesses maybe an example or two of, and you don't need to use the name of the business, but just something that they may have used these programs to utilize, what that kind of looks like in a real world example.
Sure. So with the business loan guarantee program, as I said, we can do a variety of different things. We can do so ours is kind of above that SBA level, is kind of what I explained earlier. So ours usually start about $1 million, $2 million. So we see a lot of, equipment loans. We've done printing presses in Northeast Ohio. We've done a lot of hotels. We did a new gas station in Tuscarawas County. We've done a lot of machinery and equipment. We did a truck refinance in Northwest Ohio. They did like a trucking company and just needed to help their cash flow a little. So we helped to restructure some of the debt. So those are some of the things that we can do there. When it comes to the revolving loan funds, so I'm in Southwest Ohio, and I just know some of the ones here more locally that they've helped, just smaller companies maybe get started, or whether it was, buying that equipment that they needed, or that truck that they needed if they were a plumbing company, help set up that business just to give them that cash available that maybe the bank wouldn't have, because those revolving loan funds are there to be that step kind of right before the bank. They can do a little bit more flexibility and collateral coverage. They can get creative and helpful in that aspect, so that maybe the bank's hands are tied in other ways. We have one that was a gymnastics facility down here. She needed help getting started and buying some of the equipment and stuff, so she was able to go to those local organizations that gave the revolving loan funds to help get that started. So. I can't hear you, Audrey.
Sorry about that. It was muted. Yeah, those are great examples. Thank you for that. Wanted to also see if you had any examples of a business that may have used the energy program, that, what's an idea or some ideas that you could maybe give businesses that they could use that energy loan program for.
Sure. So one that I've been kind of surprised with is we did have that grocery store that came in and did a upgrading to their lighting, and it was an older, smaller mom and pop grocery store that had the old big lighting systems in it, and they did LED lighting, and it was amazing that the people that came into the grocery store after they did the lighting was like, oh my gosh, what did you do? And it was just a simple improvement like that actually the customers were excited about, and they were able to see product better, and it actually increased some of their sales. So it just helped improve that environment. One thing we do see is, and we've kind of been told this has been started as a grain dryer replacement program. So a lot of the farmers will come through. They have an old grain dryer that maybe wasn't running as efficiently as it could. So they came through this as a grant program to apply to replace their grain dryer. So there's just different ways that they can go. A lot of solar. If you're a small business and want to help offset that energy cost, you can come in and apply for that grant to help put solar on top of your building, or a standalone system to help offset that energy cost. So there's a variety of things that they can utilize these programs for.
Those are some great examples. I love those. Yeah, hopefully this gets our businesses thinking about some things that maybe have either been on the back burner or some good ideas that they could put to use. Another question that we tend to get from our office is when we're talking to businesses, we work with both, startups and entrepreneurs who are just getting started, and then, established businesses that are looking to do some kind of a new project. Are there any specifications from these different programs that you've listed that may pertain only to an established business versus, to a startup? Are there any that are kind of tailored specifically to each, or are they all open to kind of both types of businesses?
So they're open to any business. So when it comes to the guaranteed loan program, there's different eligibility requirements. So if you're an existing business, we're not going to ask as much as maybe we would with a new business. There's going to be more requirements for that new business, whether it's an equity involvement or, the business plan, that kind of stuff. So there's going to be stuff that we're going to ask for that newer business. But it's open to anyone. We do encourage, and we have a good working relationship with that SBDC, Small Business Development Centers. Those are great resources. They're funded, I think, through the SBA and from some Ohio programs, but they will sit down with you and help you write that business plan, let you know what needs to be in that, what the lenders want to see, what funding, and they contact a lot of different places, so they know a little bit about opportunities for different types of funding. So I really encourage people to work closely with their small business development centers.
Yeah, and just in case any of the businesses on the line don't know, the SBDC, or Small Business Development Center, that serves our area here, the gentleman's name that runs it is Bill Oxter, and his office is located at Terra State University. And that is kind of the center that serves our area here in Tiffin and Seneca County. He is great to work with. He can, again, he's a business plan and pro forma wizard. He can help you crank those out and have them ready to go. He also puts on seminars once a month at different locations around our area. And some of those are actually held right at our office monthly. And so those are a great time to kind of jump in and learn about, the basics of how to start a business. So he does those, and then he will also do one-on-one appointments with people as well at his office. And he's just a great resource to be able to have in your tool belt to kind of call and ask questions to as well. So yeah, that is a great other partner to talk about. So let's see, is there anything else that is, from your perspective, that our rural businesses should be thinking about right now, as far as if they may have some projects that are kind of in the works, or they may be starting about, thinking of a business and aren't started yet? From the programs that your office runs, do you recommend is now a good time for them to engage in these things, or should they kind of wait until things open back up? We get those type of questions quite a bit too. Should I go ahead with this right now if we're able, or should we kind of wait until things even out and the economic climate is a little more stable and back up and running? What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. So our programs are, their appropriations come through Congress annually. So what we have available was funded last year. So our funds are already available. They will be through the end of the fiscal year, which runs to the end of September. If it works for the businesses right now, by all means, reach out to your lender, see if it's something that you're able to do. By all means, call me, and we can talk through if it's an energy project you're thinking about. Thankfully, this program, as far as we know, it's here to stay. So you can apply for the energy grant twice a year. We just had one close at the end of March. I got extended here to April, but the next go around is October. So that gives you some time to kind of think through things, see how things are progressing. Hopefully we're starting to see things turn around. I know this is going to be a long road for a lot of businesses, but rest assured, we're all in this together. It's one day at a time, and just make sure as a business owner, personally, we're a business owner, that you're having conversations with your lenders, with the people that you market with, that you sell to. Just make sure those conversations are always open.
Yeah, really, really good tip. We had a webinar with our local banks on last week, and they all were saying the very same thing to all of our businesses. Just, please make sure you have that open communication. You're reaching out. They were saying, we want businesses to be talking to us and figure out, what can we do? There may be some flexibility available on some things right now, and they really want to help their clients and their customers as much as possible. So yes, we can't emphasize enough that our businesses should be talking to their banks, or finding a relationship with a bank if they don't have one. Let's see. My next question that I was going to ask is, yes. We are, get a lot of questions mostly about the SBA programs that may be coming out, or what those are going to look like in the coming weeks once they get refunded. But where can people go to get updated information once the USDA does receive their directions or their guidance on the part of the stimulus package? Where's the best place for them to get an update on that once those are available, or to see if anything from the CARES Act that runs through USDA can apply to them?
Sure. So the best place I would do or watch closely is the USDA, or the rd.usda.gov/coronavirus, because I'm sure that's going to be updated. That's kind of done by the national level. I'm sure it'll be updated with whatever we have come available to us, but our website should have it, rd.usda.gov as well. Or, your local office is Findlay, Ohio. You can always make phone calls to them and ask them, is there anything new that's come available that relates to you, whether you are that community in the community, or you're a business or a homeowner, or, whatever. I would just reach out to the office, as things progress, and just touch base with them as well. I'll give you my phone number here at the end. You're always welcome to call and talk to me, just to get any updates, or just to see of what opportunities we have coming our way. So.
Yeah, that's great. That actually was something I wanted to see what your thoughts were on people reaching out to our local Findlay office versus reaching out to you at the Columbus office, kind of which things are best for them to go straight to you for versus our local Findlay office. I know you focus more on business, so I want to see what guidance you have on which office is best for our local rural and ag businesses to reach out to.
So the business side of things is centrally located in Columbus. There's 4 of us plus our program director that covers the business for the whole state of Ohio. You can reach me by email at jennifer.brown@usda.gov. Or if you want to pick up the phone and give me a call, you can reach me at 614-255-2423. Either one of those will get to me, especially, I'm working from home right now, but we are readily available Monday through Friday. So we're open to answer any answer any questions or help any way we can. So.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for that. You have, a lot of territory to cover, so we appreciate, the time you're taking from all the way from Columbus for us here in Seneca County. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to ask, is slipping my mind at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, is there anything else that you think is helpful for us to cover while I look at my notes here and figure out what the other question I wanted to ask was? Anything you think that's helpful for our businesses to know either during this time or just in general about USDA?
I think just keeping up to date on changes. All these changes came at the same time for all agencies, whether it was us or for the SBA, for lenders, for you guys as businesses, these all changes came at the same time. So just that patience and understanding that we're all working through this together. I know with the SBA and the funding not being there and readily available, that is a hardship. But I would just kind of check the website with SBA. It's sba.gov /paycheck protection. I would watch that for updates and changes, talk to your lender about it. But I would say just keep reaching out and looking for the resources as they become available, because things change daily because of the way this came on just pretty much overnight. So.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I did see the other question I wanted to ask that I've heard some businesses kind of ask about when USDA comes up. Are there any relationships or partnerships with any of the other kind of rural and ag business associated organizations like we have here locally, especially like the Farm Service Agency, the Farm Bureau, maybe like the Conservation District, our extension offices? Is there anything that you kind of partner with those other types of agriculture or rural related organizations on that our rural businesses should be aware of, or is everything kind of totally separate?
So they're kind of sister agencies, the Farm Service Agency and NRCS. Sometimes our paths cross with outreach programs, or, if it comes to a farmer and they have, they're updating that grain dryer, we'll kind of touch base with them and just keep in contact. But for the most part, we have our programs and they have their programs. If you have a question that you're like, I've heard of this loan program, but I'm not sure where to go, if it fits in, with NRCS or FSA or where that money comes from, send me an email. I'll do my best to answer those questions. We do have relationships with OSU, both at local levels and at the state level in Columbus, and with Ohio Farm Bureau. So, and Farmers Union, we do a lot at some of their conferences and stuff. So they're aware of us. So we try to make ourselves known. Marketing with the government sometimes is easier said than done. So a lot of it's word of mouth.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you for that. I think definitely some of our businesses here might be more familiar with those organizations, so I'm glad that we're being able to kind of bring what you do to the forefront here. Okay, so just another reminder to any of the attendees on the call, if you would like to add to the discussion or ask a question, please feel free to either raise your hand or type in the chat or type in the question box now. As we're wrapping up, we would love to hear from you if there's anything you want to ask or to add. So we can go ahead and kind of start wrapping up as we wait to make sure there are no other questions that come in. So again, my job is a rural development manager for all of the businesses in Seneca County and our townships and villages. So please feel free to reach out to me. I'll provide my contact info. It is my cell. You can reach us 419-561-0244. And you can reach me at my email, which is flood, FLOOD, at Tiffin-Seneca.org, and I'm happy to help direct you to resources or help with any issues that you might be facing as a rural business as well. And our office too. We have a great staff at our office that is willing to help. And then I will let Jennifer go, and then we'll see if it looks like Deb may be on the call. If she would like to add anything, she can. Otherwise, I will give contact info for our regional chamber as well, which is a partner on this call. So Jennifer, do you want to just once again let them know the best way to get a hold of you if they want to know more about these programs?
Sure. So again, my direct number is 614-255-2423. And that's with any questions regarding USDA, any kind of program. I'll be sure to get you to the right person or the right agency. And again, my email address is Jennifer, JENNIFER.Brown, BROWN, at USDA.gov.
Awesome, thank you. And I'll make sure here if Deb wanted to say anything. Looks like you should be able to speak now. Yes, Deb, would you like to add?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I didn't know what the difficulties I had earlier. No, thank you very much. You know, if the chamber or TSEP can help you guys, please reach out to us. 419-447-4141 is the chamber's number, and Audrey's giving you hers. And thank you, Jennifer, very much.
Thanks, Deb. Yeah, the chamber has been a great partner with us on this webinar series. And again, we're both local organizations that are just, trying to help businesses in as many ways as possible. So that will wrap things up for us unless we have any more comments or questions from attendees. And just want to, again, let you know that if you're interested in other webinars like this on other subjects, go to our website, just search Tiffin-Seneca Economic Partnership, or go to senecasuccess.com. That'll get you to our webinars, or search our Facebook page to see webinars like this on other topics. And again, reach out with any questions. And Jennifer, any kind of closing thoughts as we part with the businesses that you would like to leave them with?
No, just thank you very much for this opportunity to share our programs and just share some maybe tips or helpful links or whatever. So just thank you very much, Audrey. Appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Jennifer. That'll wrap things up for us. So thanks everyone for joining today.